Hello, and welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 build. As you can see, this is using some older gear. It's an old favorite, and nothing quite does it like the old gear sometimes. If you need new gear, put festival flights and Utide Apex. If you don't need newer gear, then just use it as is. Okay. So the premise of the build is Shatter plus Ignitions at the same time. We are going to want to get groups and then make all the group targets in the group shatter and ignite together. It's good for Ackler. And it's also just a really fun momentum build. Your survival is entirely dependent on your ability to move though. So if you can't Warlock glide, I highly recommend you learn it. Being able to do this and like change the direction of your glide's momentum, it's stuff like that. Being able to maintain some of the momentum from a glide while throwing a turret or while snapping, that will help you stay alive. As for abilities, Phoenix Dive, Burst Glide, Incinerator Snap, Healing Grenade, though it has the lowest cooldown, so it's the best for Bleak Quarters, and also it's useful in the pinch. Facet of Hope for decreased Phoenix Dive cooldown, Facet of Courage for more damage with your super and snap, Facet of Ruin for more shatter damage, and Facet of Dawn to let you break barriers. As I mentioned in previous videos, you can break barriers with a dot weapon even after Radiant expires if you apply the dot weapon before the barrier goes up. Well, Radiant was still active then, but the point stands. I've shown it in other videos. So, as for mods, we have Super Focus. Oh, stats. You want at least 100 and 100 in Melee Grenade. You want to get class to 100, but I'm stuck with old gear and I don't quite have the right specs for it. But Super is great. Song of Flame is amazing. We love Song of Flame. It's basically lets you spam what you're already doing. And then Transcendence also lets you spam. It's like a miniature super with this. We're using Spirits of Almost Light and Spirits of the Claw, more ability regen and more stacks, so that if something would cause one stack to overflow, it can go into the next stack, which is really great. I usually use like concussive dampener to elemental resists, depending on the activity. You can, if you want to, use charged up. It's not really going to do all that much for you. This is not an orb generating build. Like, you'll get some, but they really are the point of this. So, yeah, if you do happen to get them, stacks and time dilation will help you maintain them for longer. So each orb is worth 30 seconds of buffs instead of 10 at base, and then Powerful Attraction to just pick up orbs, Bomber to help you get more turrets. Your Phoenix Dive essentially just exists to help with cooldowns. Yeah, let me just show you what this looks like against a group of hostile enemies. Then Devour is active. So it's not the melee itself that's really doing much of the damage, it's the ignition. The ignition requires all 5 of these to hit, so you want to aim at the ground. So that's why you fly above. And then cause ignitions to go off. The freezing singularity helps with that. because it lets you pull enemies together. So you will get both a free shatter and ignition off of them. And the ignition will be against a bunch of grouped up enemies, so each enemy will ignite, so the damage increases depending on the number of enemies at the radius. It's just a neat way of handling things. As for the super, Song of Flame is Song of Flame, and you literally just dump your abilities, try to get a couple turrets up, and then Song of Flame. It's, with Devour, it's basically God mode. Yeah, although I didn't remember to say it in the moment, I'm using... Wrong button again. There we go. I'm using Bleak Water and Feed the Void. So yeah, that's this build. It's not some crazy DPS monster. Please, let me be. I turned off the aggro. Why are you like this? If you really do want to do DPS, you can use Dragon's Breath or Anarchy. You don't have to use these. This is not meant for DPS, but it's a thing that exists. Like, as you can see, it's not particularly great, but it's good for staggering the voice. You basically just cycle like this. If you really want to be ballsy, you can get rid of Devour. I do not recommend it. If you do, you can take Hellion. Not the most necessary because not will get an ignition. Or you can take the Threadlings. That will get you more Phoenix times, which will help you maintain more ability uptime. Also, because Spirits of Endless Light operates off of melee hits, one snap will get you max stacks. So, that's already adds some power abilities times 2. Anyway, thank you for watching, and now on to the gameplay footage. So, this is the difficulty with these modifiers, and no starting ammo. So, build again is this. The only real important mods are going to be Power from Pain and Singularity Blade. Though this is neat, as is Armor Smith, but these two are the most important. We're going to have Devour.
Hey there, friend.
So,
looks like those Scorn meatheads are thriving again in that old worm factory. Any chance you could deal with it?
We're on it, Finch.
That was a lot messier than it should have been. Okay, 20 minutes. This is very doable. What was that glitch? No. My ammo. Why? It was way too close. Sweet. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, come on. That's garbage. That was so user error and not the build's error. I just played that badly. Like I just played this badly. Nice. I hate the level up covering my health. I do not have much time. I was trying to save my Phoenix Dive when I should have used it. Why am I like this? So much time wasted. Okay, that definitely saved me some time. Respectfully, no. This is not the best showing. The last run I managed to not die until the end, I just ran out of time. Oh my gosh.
We're now.
That was,
They'll be back, I'm sure. But your
that was
efforts
fun,
continue to hold
honestly.
them off. Good work as
Kinda
always.
stressful, but fun. So yeah, it's a really fun build, and I recommend you try it. Disclaimer, my deaths were from me being stupid, not from the build sucking. So, thanks for watching.